All right, so I am copying off what another guy did on YouTube. I'll link his video in the description or something. Um, and he is using a foot switch to upgrade his super cheap $170 TIG welder to have proportional foot control. And one of the things you got to do is you got to put in a switch right here. And what this switch does is it interrupts the switch. Let's see if you can get up in there. That switch right there, that one that's clicking. I don't know if you can focus on it. Here, I'll zoom out and then I'll get out and zoom in. It interrupts that guy right there. So what that switch will do is it'll go in line with that switch, and what it does is so that when you floor this guy, you can go to the TIG welder and you can adjust the dial on the TIG welder, because when this is in this position right here, you cannot do that. One of the things I was thinking about doing is using this switch to short out the potentiometer, and if I do that, then if I flip the switch, then all this just basically gives 100%, and it's just a what's I'm looking for? It's just a foot switch that does the same thing as the foot switch that we already got. And then if you flip this open, it will open this contactor up, and it will be in parallel with the potentiometer that's on the welder, and then you'll have proportional foot power. But I think what I'll do is I'll just have this switch interrupt that switch so that you'll always have variable foot control or variable foot amperage, and when you want to set it, you'll floor this guy, set the dial on the welder, and I believe that's how the other guy did it too. So that's what I'm looking at doing. All right, so digging into the Yes welder, this is like the 205 DS. You know, so far, very happy with this welder. It does all the things, but sometimes it would be nice to have a foot pedal. So the way you do that is, first thing I did is I came in here and took out the 2-pin plug, then cut these wires right here, and I'm going to extend here on this one. These 2 pins right here are the ones going to this foot switch. And that, what that does is that makes the contact here, and it will do the same thing as the original foot switch. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the black wire. Let's see if I can get a good picture. So the black wire off of the potentiometer, that's the yellow wire. There we go. Black wire, I'm going to cut and splice into that guy. And then from there, I'm going to feed them into the 2 pins here. I believe it's the 5 and 6 pin, sorry, the 4 and 5 pin right there. And that goes to the potentiometer. And so I'll show you what the potentiometer is here in just a second. All right, so what I've got is these 2 pins right here are going to the pot on the foot switch. And so now I'm just going to push the foot switch, start moving it down, so you can see it started off at 10 kilo ohms, and then it's going down 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 0 kilo ohms. That's full power. So that would be all the power that the Yes welder is putting out. And then this would be 50 amps, 50%, I'm sorry, 50% of the power is putting out. So it's just going to be put in series. And so that way, whatever the switch, the dial is set on the Yes welder, it will just add more resistance to that, and that will reduce the current. All right, got it all soldered up. So this wire right here connects to the black wire, and it goes down to the connector down there. These wires right here go to the foot pedal, the limit switch. So let's plug it in and see what happens. Hopefully I didn't just brick my okay, 3 amps is what it says. And that makes sense because, let me take the foot pedal now. And yeah, it was already done to 17. So it sounded like it was going on. Let's turn the switch off. So I have a switch down here that I'm putting down. It's right there. All right, there you go. So it's floored. And so now I can adjust the amps up to 130 amps and adjust the foot pedal back and forth. It's touchy. I don't know. I mean, so now it's 30 amps min, and I go up to 133, and I can turn it all the way up to max 168, but I usually run like 130 or so, or depending on what I'm welding, of course. And back down. So it seems like it's working. I think that's pretty easy. Got the connector down there. So now let's go actually hook it up and see what happens. All right, so I just finished doing some welding. Definitely, I'm not a good welder at all, and using the foot pedal for the first time is difficult. A lot easier just use the set it and forget it push button. But interesting thing is that, let's go over here, let's turn the switch off here. So turn the switch off. I'm gonna put my foot on the trigger. I'm gonna floor the trigger, or floor the foot pedal, crank it all the way up. It now goes up to 205 amps. It went up to 168 before, so I don't know what's going on, if it threw something off, but I thought it only went to 164 amps, but now it goes to 205. It is a TIG 205, so I'm not sure if that has something to do with anything, but so I can go from 100 to 200 amps, basically 66 to 122. So the neat thing is that I really don't even need to set it. I can just, you know, if I want 100 amps, put it there, floor it, 90 amps. Okay, it's not perfectly double, but let's go to 30. Let's go to try to go 60 amps. That's 29. Floor it all the way to 56, so it almost doubles. So I don't know if I screwed anything up or not. It is working. I can power on, power off. I'll do a quick video of that right now, showing you what I can do. So let me set that up. All right, let's go see how this works. All right, let's weld. I'm gonna crank it up to, let's say 120 amps, or 60 to 130. Let's see, actually it needs a little more than that, I think. All right, flip the switch on. We're at 80 to 180, something like that. I'll just weld. I'll just weld on top of this guy. And I'm just gonna power up, power down, power up, power down, just to show the power up and down. This is on dirty material too. Full power, minimum power, full power, minimum power, full power, minimum power. Went too far off. Full power, minimum power. Minimum power, full power. All right, let me try this again. Last time, couldn't really tell what was going on because the camera was adjusting the brightness up and down so that you couldn't tell that this thing was doing like it was supposed to. Right, here we go. This is low power, high power, low power, high power, low power, high power, low power, high power. I can really see the difference here. I can see it getting brighter, like high, low, high, low.